Welcome to the West Point Lake Update. I'm Rocky Millenbine, Park Ranger for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We've got a great show lined up with you today. We have Jill Sestino with the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers telling us about an event that's going to be taking part on June 2nd at West Point Lake. Also, I have Steve Rector, my fellow Park Ranger with the Corps of Engineers, telling us about some of the activities we're going to have coming on this summer at West Point Lake as well. So stay tuned, we've got more to come.
On April 5th, 2007, I almost drowned out there. My boat sank, forcing me to have to swim. Luckily, someone came to my rescue.
My name's David Barr, Park Ranger with the Corps of Engineers at West Point Lake. What happened to Andrew could happen to anyone. It's important to learn how to swim and always wear a life jacket when boating. Your family will be glad you did.
Welcome back to the West Point Lake Update. With me now, I have Jill Sestino with the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers. Now, Jill, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Rocky. Thank
you
for having me.
Yeah, it's always good to have you. You've become almost a regular here.
Yes, glad to be here.
Yeah, and you've got an event going on at West Point Lake coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I do. It's on June the 2nd from 10 to 2 p.m. It's called the Clean Water Festival. This is the first year that we will have done this in our community, and we're very glad to be bringing it out and making a community event for everyone.
Absolutely, and you've got an important message that you and the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers are trying to present to the people of LaGrange, which is clean water means a clean lake for everyone to use.
That's right. It's very important that people understand that we do have clean water down here, but we'll be talking about how we keep our water clean, about the importance of clean water, and just doing some educational fun things that'll get people interested in how they can keep it clean. And then, of course, we want to celebrate that we have clean water on West Point Lake, and we'll do it at Yellow Jacket Beach. And we'll have rides, boat rides, we'll have kayaks out, teaching people to kayak, fishing, all kinds of fun. You guys are doing water safety.
Yeah.
All kinds of fun things.
Yeah, and it's important to not just have all the information presented, but also to allow people to come out and see all the great things that you can do on the water and have a wonderful afternoon doing it.
That's right. Well, we found in our experience working on the water is if you can get people out on the water and they experience it in their community, then they start to understand how important it is to preserve it, to take care of it, and to restore the area around it if you need to, which is what our mission is all about.
Absolutely, and you know, putting on this event, it's really adding to your workload, I know, and we appreciate all the work that you do here at West Point Lake. But what got this process started of putting on a big event like this?
Well, I just wanted to get the message out to the public about Chattahoochee River Keepers' message, our mission, what we stand for, and what we're doing in this community downstream. A lot of times people think that downstream is forgotten about, but it's not. We are very, very excited to be in this community, and we want people to understand about our mission and how important their role is. Everyone plays a role with water. Water belongs to everyone. So we wanted to get the message out to as many people as possible, to as many people that use the lake, and then also maybe to bring some folks out that don't normally use the lake.
Absolutely.
Just to come out and have a fun day, because we'll be doing education. We'll talk about rainwater harvesting and how important it is that you start conserving water. And part of that, you'll get a little bit of the State of the Hooch address in terms of what's going on with the water and the water supply that we have available through the Chattahoochee River.
Right, and it's important to get that message out there that we have a beautiful natural resource out there, but it takes each one of us to really give a little effort and to show interest to keep it there for future generations to use.
That's right, and that's what we're all about as the River Keeper for the Chattahoochee River. We are all about protection and restoration, and we work with all kinds of communities up and down the Chattahoochee watershed. And so I don't know that a lot of people know that we're here. We have an office downtown on the square, and we're very glad that we have that space. That space is available for meetings publicly, and I work in there. It's my office. But we're here to serve this community and to protect our water and our resource. So we just want to get as many people out as possible and get our mission in front of as many people as possible, because we're here to serve the community. That's what the Riverkeeper is all about, is it's protecting our natural resource for future generations.
Absolutely. And, you're a non-for-profit agency that you're just here for the natural resources and for the people as well, because to protect the natural resource, you're providing a service for the people. And as you mentioned, you do have a new office, still fairly new office.
That's right.
In downtown.
Less than a year old.
Yeah, and that just shows the dedication that the Riverkeepers has put into this area.
That's right. Our main office is located in Atlanta, but we have an office up on Lake Lanier, and then we have an office down here to look after West Point Lake primarily. We out of our office, we're an outreach office, and we look after Troup, Heard, and Harris County out of this office. So we want to get more people engaged in our mission and what we're doing. And again, we are also about conservation too. We're about protection, but we're also about conservation, and we do a rainwater program where we do a lot of education with children, and so we'll have that out. We do workshops that talk about how to get the dirt out. The number one pollutant in the Chattahoochee River is soil erosion and sediment, and so we want to get out to the public and let people know that. A lot of times people don't realize, as they're disturbing the land, what happens to the buffer zones and what happens to their water supply when that happens. So we'll have a lot of fun, and all of the education will be fun, and if people choose to participate in the education, we will have prizes for them for going through. We have a kayak that we will have out, and
really, that's
yes, we have a
excellent.
kayak that we'll be offering up. So there's a lot of fun things for people to do in terms of beach games. So we want to get people out and let them go through the educational process that's so important. Everything around water, even with the water safety that you are going. The Fish and Wildlife Service is bringing one of their habitat turtle tanks. They'll be bringing
cool.
that out. So kids will have the opportunity to do a lot of hands-on learning. Families will have a lot of opportunities to do a lot of hands-on learning.
Great. And as you mentioned, this is a big event, and we're really excited about it. But again, you said that was at Yellow Jacket Beach, correct?
Yes, it's at Yellow Jacket Beach, and it's on June the 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the Corps of Engineers, as you know, is helping us put this on. So we will have a free event for the public. None of these things are, there's no fee associated with any of the things with this festival, unless you want to buy some barbecue. We will have a barbecue representative out if you'd like, but
Great.
People are welcome to bring their picnic baskets, their blankets, their beach towels, and enjoy the day at Yellow Jacket Creek.
Yeah, it's really designed as a family event.
Yes,
bring the family, spend the day at the beach, but at the same time, you got some special activities, some educational opportunities. So it should really be a fun day on the lake.
And don't forget, if people are boating over, that's another opportunity. If they're out on West Point Lake boating, they are welcome to come on over and hang out with us for an hour. It's a 4-hour event, but we would love to see anyone out for an hour to join us for this event. So if they're boating, come on over.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
Come on over, have lunch with us, see some activities, and then you can go back out and continue skiing, fishing, whatever you're doing, right?
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah, and you mentioned you're going to have your boat here, the Riverkeeper's boat. That's a really neat boat. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that is a boat that is custom designed for river patrol protection. We had it built up in Ohio. As a matter of fact, it is a specially designed boat that we use all throughout the watershed. Part of our obligation as a riverkeeper is to actually get out and patrol the river and make sure that there's nothing that we need to be doing to restore that area or any kind of pollution violations. So we use it quite often, and it's going to be down this day for people to take a ride on. I had it out at the Christmas parade, and people seem to think it was a fun, cool boat. So it's just a fun boat to get out and be out on. So we appreciate, we'll also have a couple of UCR staff members will be down. Our executive director, Sally Bethea, is coming down for this event and wants to get to know the community more. We'll have our technical programs manager out, and our captain, of course, driving the boat down. So we're very pleased that we can do that for people. And we have another boat provided by Highland Marina that will be out. So if people don't get the opportunity to go out, here's your chance. Put a life vest on and get on one of these boats and go out.
Yeah.
And kayaking as well. Pine Mountain Adventures is our kayaking provider guide that will be there that day. And so again, if you haven't been on a kayak or you'd
He's
like
not just going to have kayaks for people to use, but he'll also give a little bit of instructions, a little bit of training on how to use a kayak. So anyone that maybe thinking that kayaking would be a fun
That's right.
activity for them to get started in.
And
here's
it's easy
a great,
to do
here's a
on
great
West Point.
opportunity to get on a kayak and see, hey, is this
Right.
for me or not?
Right. There are some wonderful opportunities on the Chattahoochee River and, of course, West
Yes.
Point Lake to get out and kayak. And I think sometimes people forget that we have that in our backyard. And when the core is generating, you can just float on down.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't even have to paddle very hard. But there are some beautiful stretches on the Chattahoochee River that you can kayak. And it's very family-friendly activity. Doesn't cost a lot of money. So we're very pleased that he's coming out and will be giving some instruction to people. Because a lot of times people think of West Point Lake just boating, which of course is a fantastic recreational opportunity. But there is so much bird watching. And you know, when you're kayaking, you can fish, you can bird watch. So that's a great thing that we're glad that he's joining us. And also we have a fishing guide. Ron Savage is coming.
Great.
He'll be teaching people about fishing and just kind of getting people excited about that as well. So
Yeah,
we're
there's so many things to do on the lake, and you've really done a great job of finding people to show several different aspects of that, because
That's right.
we're already going to be at the beach, so you know, bring your family over,
right.
because we're going to have the beach is going to be open and available for use, but
Right.
at the same time you can fish for a little bit, you can go on a boat ride, kayak, and hopefully learn something too.
Yeah, and it's kicking the summer off, so
Yeah.
hopefully it won't be too hot.
Yeah, June 2nd, we're hoping for some beautiful weather. And
But let's face it, we're all excited that summer's here, so we hope we
Yes.
have a good turnout.
yeah, it's the beginning of the summer. Kids are out of school, and
Yeah.
this is a great opportunity for them
Yeah.
to come out and.
The Clean Water Festival.
Yeah, it is, and it is a festival. That's
It
the
is.
great thing, because you've got so many activities going on.
Yeah.
It's not just a day at the beach. It's a day that there's so many opportunities that people normally wouldn't get. I mean, I don't know the last time I've been able to go to the lake, to the beach, and play in the sand, go for a swim, kayak, boat, fish, everything in one
right.
day. So it's going to be a great
And we
day
need
for
to
the
remind
public.
viewers that the lake is clean, it is safe to swim in, it is safe to have all kind of recreational opportunities out there. That's why we're having this festival. So I'm really excited about that, because I'm glad that we can celebrate that. The Chattahoochee Riverkeeper has done a lot of work to clean up the downstream flow from the Chattahoochee River north in Atlanta
Right.
downstream this way. We've done a lot of work over the last 20 years to clean it up, and we wouldn't be putting our name on a festival if it weren't a whole lot cleaner than people think.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that.
Well, like you mentioned, there was a stigma back many years ago that West Point Lake wasn't a clean lake, but as we both know, we've seen the test results, we know that we're on the very bottom 5% of everything, which is, you know, not even close to being an issue. So, and that's going to be great, because you're going to have some activities where people are going to be able to test the water
Right, we'll
themselves.
also be doing some water monitoring experiments, so kids can get out, and if you don't believe us, come check it out for yourself. But anyway, we'll have some fun experiments out where you can do water monitoring.
And another neat thing that you were telling me that's going to be there is rain capturing barrels.
Right,
correct?
right,
And you're
yes.
going to show people how to make those, and tell us how people can use those.
Well, we have a grant through Coca-Cola, and they give us their large drums for their syrup. And so what we do is we take those and we use them in a water conservation workshop. And so we take them, retrofit them. You can paint them to match your backyard. You can paint them just for fun. We donate sometimes to the schools, but you can do that through our Coca-Cola rain harvesting workshops. And for this particular day, we'll just have them out. We don't typically sell them. You have to attend a workshop. It's $40 to go to the workshop with us, but that's because it's through an educational grant that we get from Coca-Cola. But we'll have them out that day, and certainly people can put their name down for the next workshop and get the rain barrels. They're $40, and you can paint them. And that day we'll be painting them. It's always a fun community event, and then we'll be drawing to donate who we give the rain barrel that day to.
Okay,
So
great. So that's going to be another one of the giveaways.
that's right. People can enter to win the rain barrel when they come over and paint on it. So,
Excellent.
yeah. And they're very easy to install. That's a big thing with rain barrels. They're very easy to install, and they're very clean. They have a top over them.
Yeah.
So they,
and then you can use the water to water
for
your flowers,
yes,
or
they're
just
fabulous for gardens. If you like to garden, they're a great thing to put near your garden. So.
great. And of course, anytime there's a big event like this, you know, we need lots of help, and you know, volunteers are going to be crucial to have this thing be a success.
That's right. Yes, and we would love to have some volunteers. It does take a whole bunch of folks to pull this off. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, they can volunteer as a boat floater and float among the boats. They can help me just as a runner amongst the festival. They can help in ground maintenance. Their t-shirt sales, volunteer check-in, so you can do a 2-hour or a 4-hour commitment, and they can contact me at jucreverkeeper.org.
Okay, great. And hopefully we're going to get some people from the community coming out and help us out. And Jill, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you so much for putting on this event at West Point Lake. And you continue to do so much out here, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you. We're excited. We're very excited. So thanks for having me.
Okay. And we want everybody to stay tuned because we've got more to come.
We have a great facility here. We have numerous tables and grills for you to spend a good day out here. And we have a great beach out there. It's a nice, wide, sandy beach. And also a pavilion where you can rent to have family reunions or weddings and so forth. We also have 2 boat ramps across the way. So come out, enjoy yourself. You'll have your family out here for great fun.
We are the smallest and most quaint campground on West Point Lake. We have 58 campsites here. All of our campsites have water and electric. We have shower houses that are nice and clean. We have laundry services. We have the best view of West Point Lake anywhere on this lake. On 4th of July weekend, off of our shoreline, you can see the best view of the fireworks from anywhere on the lake. And we'd like to see everybody come here to Whitetail Ridge Campground and visit us.
Welcome back to the West Point Lake Update. With me now, I have my fellow park ranger, Steve Rector. Steve, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me today, Rocky.
And Steve, right now is a really busy time for us. The campgrounds are all open, and this month, all the beaches opened up as well.
That's right. All the beaches opened up officially on May 4th, and they will stay open through Labor Day. And so we're hoping for a really good turnout there at the beaches.
Absolutely. And, you know, our beaches they're a big visitation kick up for us, and it's a great opportunity for people to come out and enjoy West Point Lake.
Absolutely. In fact, we have 3 beach areas here at West Point Lake. We have the Yellow Jacket Beach area, which is probably our most popular swimming area, and then we have Earl Cook also in Georgia, and we have Rocky Point in Alabama.
Right. And we have, you know, there we've got great amenities for people to use. We not just have the beach, but we've got multiple grills, picnic tables, different things like that for people to enjoy.
That's right. We do have the picnic areas and the grills, but there are also playgrounds at each one of our beach areas. Some of the beach areas also have tennis courts, basketball courts, and some of them have a few open fields for softball or baseball or some kind of practice or game like that.
Yeah, and a couple of the beaches actually have reservable areas for people to come. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do at Earl Cook and at Rocky Point. We have reservable shelters, and essentially the shelters are designed for larger groups who want to be together and not necessarily spread out amongst different picnic tables. And you can reserve those up to 1 year in advance as long as the areas are open. Of course, you wouldn't be able to reserve the Rocky Point or Earl Cook shelters when the beaches are closed.
Right.
So that really kind of limits those areas. But they rent for different prices based on the occupancy. Rocky Point is a great shelter for large groups. We hold some special events there as well.
Right.
That shelter, I think, has a capacity of around 250 people. And then at Earl Cook, we have 2 smaller shelters. They're in the 45 to 65 person capacity. Now those shelters are pre-reservable, and if they are reserved, we flip a sign up to let everyone know that's arriving that, hey, someone has reserved this shelter, so please don't use it on this date. Now if you don't see that reserved shelter sign with the words reserved showing, then it's a first come first served shelter. So anyone who comes to that beach can then use that shelter.
Yeah, and we do recommend, especially large groups, though, to go ahead, like a family reunion or something like that.
Large
to go ahead
groups
and get that
really do
reservation.
need to reserve it ahead of time. That way they can be certain that they're going to get that shelter, and there won't be any conflict between other groups trying to use the area. So we certainly do ask people that if they know of an event ahead of time, that they call our office at 706-645-2937, and our receptionist there can help you through the process of reserving a shelter. And I would also suggest that if you're interested in reserving a shelter, that you think about 1 or 2 or possibly even 3 dates. That way you have when you call an alternate date if your primary date for your event is not available.
Especially if the event's coming up, you know, pretty quick.
That's right. You can reserve our shelters, any of the shelters on the project, beginning January 1st of every year. And so there are people who plan ahead and who, they will reserve the shelter January 1st or whatever the first business day is following the new year.
Yeah, and especially the holiday weekends and the really, once school gets out, you know, those summer weekends, you know, there's a good chance that several of the shelters will be reserved.
Absolutely. The holiday weekends, our beaches will be full. And that's one thing for, especially Yellow Jacket, being our most popular swim area. I would really encourage anyone who wants to come out to Yellow Jacket, specifically on the holiday weekends, to get there early and have your entire party at Yellow Jacket early, because that area does fill up, and unfortunately it does get to capacity. And for safety reasons, we sometimes will have to close that for a period of time to new visitors. Now, we're not going to throw anyone out who's already in the beach area, but we may have to restrict anyone else from going into the beach area. So I would encourage anyone who wants to come out, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, those big holidays, that if they plan on going to Yellow Jacket, that they get there as early as possible. It frequently will have to close by noon for sometimes 2, 3, and 4 hours at a time.
Right. Well, and you know, we want people to use the beaches. We're not closing them down. You know, it's completely for safety reasons, because safety is the priority for our visitors. It
is completely for safety reasons. Safety is our primary consideration at these beaches. And so we do a lot of different things to make sure that everyone is safe when they visit our swim areas and the campgrounds as well. One of those things is making sure that we don't go over capacity on visitors, but we also offer other things at these areas as well. We have a life jacket loaner program at each one of our swim areas. If people have come out and they do not have a life jacket, or they have one that they've arrived and they see it's got some damage to it, it doesn't fit properly, we have life jackets of all sizes available at these swim areas. Everything from infant up to adult. And it doesn't cost anything to check it out. We just ask that you show some type of issued identification. Usually a state driver's license is what we will accept. There's no charge. We will loan it to you for your use at the beach there, or the campground if you're at the campground, and then we just ask that you return it on your way out. And these are inspected periodically to make sure they're functioning and that there are no rips or tears, the buckles all work, and we will help to make sure that it fits properly as well. We want everyone who comes to these swim areas to be safe and to be able to go home unhurt at the end of the day.
And come back and see us again.
Absolutely, and check out another life jacket.
Yeah, and this life jacket loaner program, it's been a huge success. You know, you worry when you loan things out, always the big concern is, are you going to get it back? But it's been hugely successful. The people that use it, they appreciate the service, and we always get the life jackets back.
I don't know that we've lost any more than maybe 1 or 2, and most of the time, the reason that we're losing a life jacket is that there's been a storm roll through or something, and people have in a hurry gathered up things to get out of the beach area because it's storming, and they've forgotten a life jacket or something that they've checked out, which is understandable. It's not something that they packed and brought with them. They picked it up along the way. That does happen. Most of the life jackets, though, are returned and usually in excellent shape. We've had a few that just from wear and tear have to be taken out of circulation, but that's to be expected when they're out in the heat, the sun, in the water.
And they're getting used, you know.
And they're getting used, absolutely.
But, you know, so we encourage people to come on out. If you don't have a life jacket, you know, life jackets are a very important part of the safety message of the Corps of Engineers. And we highly encourage folks to come on out and make sure that you've got that life jacket on.
It is. Life jackets are one of our primary focuses on visitor safety. Life jackets and water safety. We've had, I think the number is a little over 100 now on drownings at West Point Lake, and our goal is really to keep that at that number right now. We don't want any more drownings at West Point Lake, and so we've taken a number of initiatives on to try to prevent any future mishaps. And one of those that's been the most successful is the Life Jacket Loaner program.
Right.
We've expanded it. It started in just a few areas, and now all 4 of our campgrounds have Life Jacket Loaner stations, as well as all 3 swimming areas.
Right. And I know you have spent a lot of time in schools. I have as well. But, you know, getting the message out is another important part of being a park ranger for the Corps of Engineers. I know I've had a lot of people ask me, knowing that I'm a park ranger, have you ever jumped in the water and saved anybody? And I've never actually done that, but I always tell people, you know, I feel like I'm saving people possibly by getting the information out so people know how to be safe, and maybe they won't make the mistakes that might cause them to drown.
That's right. We are usually not there when something happens, so we have to spend a lot of time in the preparation, in talking to children, talking to family groups, talking to even to adults about properly wearing a life jacket when you're in and around the water, not just when you're in the water, but when you're around the water, because you can slip and fall. You can fall off of one of the courtesy docks. You can slip on the shoreline and hit your head and go into the water. So anytime you're in and around the water, unfortunately, park rangers aren't around a lot when accidents happen. We have, over 30 parks around the lake, and we don't have a park ranger for every single park. And so we really spend a lot of time in the education before people come to visit the lake.
That's right. And the vast majority of the drownings that have happened at West Point Lake could have been avoided if they were just wearing a life jacket.
That's correct. And so that's why we have taken the effort to put these life jacket loaner stations out at each one of our parks and our campgrounds. So I encourage everyone to certainly take advantage of that service that's offered.
Yeah, and not just that. Come out to the beaches. You know, they're open now, and that's the main message. They're safe. We're taking measures to make sure it's as safe as it possibly can be. So come on out and visit us.
Absolutely. Come on out, have fun, enjoy the lake, and go home safe.
Absolutely. And Steve, thank you for being on the show and telling us a little bit about the activities that we got going on. And we want everybody to stay tuned because we still have more to come.
Welcome to Rocky Point Recreation Area. This is a day-use park. We have a variety of things to offer, such as a very large pavilion for accommodating up to 250 people. And we also have, adjoining that, a large swimming area and life jackets that can be used free of charge for the day to make sure that everybody is safe and sound. One of the most popular items in the parks are fishing pier. We have folks that are here 7 days a week trying their luck and having a great amount of success. But if you're in a boat, bring it along. We have 2 different ramps actually, accommodating people at the same time, and room to park your trailers for about 25. And we'd like to see you out here to join us in a variety of activities.
We have 117 campsites with 10 doubles. We have pull-through campsites.
We have campsites that have beautiful decks. We have bathhouses. We have playgrounds for children, tennis court, basketball, baseball.
We have an amphitheater that is used periodically for different shows. It's just a great, enjoyable place to come and enjoy yourselves.
And it's just a beautiful area here. It's beautifully landscaped, and we would love for everyone to come and enjoy it with us.
Welcome back to the West Point Lake Update. I want to thank my guests again, Stephen Rector, Park Ranger with the Corps of Engineers, and Jill Sestino with the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers for coming and being on the show with us. And also, I want to remind you, the campgrounds are open and so are the beaches. So come on out to West Point Lake and bring your family and have a wonderful and safe day. And remember, always wear your life jacket when you're on the water. Until next time, have a good day.
Welcome to Holiday Campground. We have roughly 162 sites in the campground. We have an ample supply of 30 amp and 50 amp sites, and we have an ample supply of primitive sites for the more hardy. We have 2 boat ramps. We have 2 group camping sites that have 5 camper and 5 primitive sites. It's good fishing around the lake. It takes about 13 miles to go around the campground, which means all the sites are well spaced out. Almost all of them are water accessible, and some of them are right on the water.
We have a full beach here with bathhouses. We have over 70 picnic tables, approximately 40 have grills.
Have a boat ramp, 2 pavilions that you can rent, shelters for any use you want.
We also have tennis courts, basketball courts. It's just a beautiful place. So come on out and enjoy Earl Cook Day Use area.